For nearly 8 centuries, a Muslim civilization flourished in the heart of Europe, a land where science, art, philosophy, and faith intertwined, creating one of the most remarkable societies the world has ever seen. This is the forgotten story of Al-Andalus, Europe's lost Muslim kingdom. 1. The world before Andalusia. In the early 8th century, Europe was fragmented. The Visigothic kingdom in Iberia suffered from internal division, political chaos, and social unrest. While much of the continent struggled through what historians call the Dark Ages, new ideas and innovations were emerging from the Islamic world, from Damascus to Baghdad. It was in this context that a young commander named Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed the narrow waters separating Africa and Europe and changed European history forever. 2. The arrival of Tariq ibn Ziyad. In the year 710, Tariq led a small army across what would later be known as the Strait of Gibraltar, named after him Jabal Tariq. The landing marked the beginning of a rapid series of events. Within a year, the Visigothic king Roderick was defeated. Within a decade, almost the entire Iberian Peninsula came under Muslim rule. But contrary to common belief, the new rulers did not destroy the existing civilization. Instead, they built upon it, preserved its knowledge, and blended it with their own. This fusion created something extraordinary. 3. The rise of a new civilization. Under the Umayyads, Andalusia became a sanctuary for scholars, poets, architects, and scientists. When the Abbasids took power in the east, the Umayyad prince Abd al-Rahman I fled and established a new emirate in Córdoba. This was the birth of a golden age. Córdoba soon became one of the largest and most advanced cities in the world, with paved streets, running water, public baths, gardens, libraries, and schools. A beacon of light at a time when much of Europe remained deeply rural and illiterate. 4. The Golden Age of Córdoba. By the 10th century, Córdoba rivaled Baghdad as a center of learning. Historians say its libraries held hundreds of thousands of books, at a time when the largest libraries in Christian Europe held only a few hundred. Here, scholars advanced medicine, astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, architecture, agriculture, and music. Figures such as Averroes, Ibn Rushd, and Maimonides, Ibn Maimun, a Muslim philosopher and a Jewish scholar, lived in the same city, contributing to a shared intellectual world. Andalusia became the bridge through which the knowledge of the ancient Greeks, Persians, and Indians entered Europe, sparking the early foundations of the Renaissance. 5. Daily life in Al-Andalus. Life in Andalusia was shaped by diversity. Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived together in relative coexistence. Cities like Córdoba, Seville, and Granada were filled with markets, gardens, fountains, music, poetry, and craftsmanship. Agriculture flourished. New irrigation systems, imported crops, and scientific farming transformed Iberia into one of the richest regions of medieval Europe. The legacy of this period can still be seen today, from Spanish vocabulary with Arabic origins to architectural masterpieces like the Great Mosque of Córdoba and the Alhambra Palace. 6. The long decline. Yet no kingdom lasts forever. Beginning in the 11th century, internal conflicts weakened Muslim rule. Andalusia fractured into smaller kingdoms known as the taifas. Meanwhile, Christian kingdoms in the north, stronger and more unified, began advancing southwards. The Reconquista was not a single war, but a slow, centuries-long process. City after city fell. Toledo in 1085, Córdoba in 1236, Seville in 1248. By the late 15th century, only Granada remained. 7. The fall of Granada. In 1492, the same year Columbus sailed west, the last Muslim stronghold surrendered to Ferdinand and Isabella. The fall of Granada marked the end of Muslim rule in Western Europe. But it was not just a political change. It was the end of a civilization. Forced conversions, expulsions, and the destruction of libraries erased much of Andalusia's cultural identity. Yet its influence endured. in language, food, architecture, science, and the memory of a time when Europe hosted one of the world's most brilliant civilizations. 8. Legacy: why Andalusia still matters. The story of Al-Andalus is not just a chapter of the past. It is a reminder of what is possible when cultures meet, not in conflict, but in creativity. A place where ideas crossed borders, where scholars of different faiths debated, and where the foundations of modern Europe were quietly shaped. If you want more forgotten stories from the Muslim world, subscribe to the Forgotten Muslim World, and join us next week for another hidden chapter of history.